stage is yours.
Hey, hi, hello, how are you? I see that you are a little tired, and I totally get it after the whole day of great presentations. So let's start with short audience check, okay? Are you ready? I promise it will be easy. All I need from you is raise your right hand or left hand or two hands when you agree with the sentence I will say, okay? Can we do that? Cool. Okay, let's try. So the first question for you, who is here because they want to learn something today? Cool. Okay, who of you heard about volunteering and tried it? Oh, there are few people. Amazing. Are there any software engineers in the room? Yeah, cool. I am one of you, so perfect. And maybe last one question. Who of you likes fairy tales? Fairy tales. Okay, there are a few people as well. Perfect. Unfortunately, my talk is not about Disney as it was few presentations before. But yeah, I will start with telling you a story. Long time ago, not far away, because here in Krakow, there was a girl. And so there was a girl, and she was at high school, and she didn't know what to do with her life. She was thinking about going for medical studies, maybe doing something connected with pharmacies, because, all girls with good scores are doing that. But she was not really convinced to that. But by accident, she landed at Rails Girls workshop. If you never heard about it, it's one-day event where volunteers are teaching how to create your first website in one day. It's totally free. It's organized by volunteers. And what is important in this story? They promised free pizza and gifts. So this girl decided, it's Saturday. I'm at high school. I really like pizza. I should go there. Even if she thought that IT is, for those strange guys with big glasses and talking only about mathematics and super strange algorithmic tasks. And you know what? She fell in love in programming during this day. What is funny, she came home and she didn't know how to start the web page she built. So when she wanted to present to her friends and parents what she did, she didn't know how to start that. Fortunately, she figured out that. Later on, she started working on those programming skills, on teaching programming, on teaching how to create web page, and joined a group of people who wanted to do exactly the same. So they met bi-weekly, once a month, and each person from this group was trying to learn something new till this time. And we were meeting together and talking to each other. I discovered this super cool trick in CSS. It's called Flex, and it will change your life, yeah? Now, we know, like programmers know that it's not really super crazy trick, but this girl was really crazy about that. And she decided to study computer science at Jagiellonian University, so still we are here in Krakow. And this girl decided that, okay, maybe studying is cool, programming is cool, but I want to do more. I want to engage in some group. I want to do some events. So she joined computer science club at university, started organizing events, teaching kids and younger students about things she loved. And of course, there was one more factor to convince her to do so. Pizza, again. As I said, pizza is very important in the life of this girl. Why I'm telling you this story? Because this girl is standing in front of you. It's me. I'm Dominika ZAJOC, and if you want to connect with me, there are some links on the slides. And today I'm full stack engineer, senior software engineer at Qualtrics, where I'm building stuff used by many, many people around the whole world. Apart from that, I'm Google developer expert in web technologies. So I speak at many conferences, I conduct lectures, trainings for kids, adults, I write articles, and I share my passion to IT with others. So just last year, I conducted almost 20 different speech activities in the whole Europe. So even just last year, I visited 5 countries. And when you see the map, it's a lot of places I visited thanks to giving some talks, conducting lectures, and just talking about things I love. And yeah, I started doing that because I wanted to give back to community. When I was at this first workshop in my life, I promised myself that, when I will grow up and someday become programmer, I will give back to the community and volunteer as those people I met there. So maybe someone else will discover their passion. Maybe someone else will become software engineer. Maybe someone else will discover they really love coding and come on, spending whole night coding. It's something that amazed me. I know it's strange for normal people, but yeah, I really, really loved it. But you know what? There's a catch. After a few years of doing that, I realized that even I thought that I will sacrifice myself. I will do something for community, I will spend my time and skills on doing something good. I'm still benefiting from that more that I'm giving. So it's a little crazy, but I discovered that thanks to knowledge sharing, to volunteering, I'm still benefiting a lot. And I want to share it with you in case you didn't start knowledge sharing or volunteering yet, because maybe you will decide it's also something you want to try. There are many, many benefits of volunteering, knowledge sharing, and first of them is, of course, networking. So in events like here, you can meet other people who have similar interests or totally different interests. You can share your thoughts, you can discover something else. You can meet amazing people from the whole world, and it's really, really great. The second thing, travels. When you're a speaker, you can visit a lot of amazing places, and each time I'm traveling somewhere for a conference or workshop, I'm trying to spend at least one day in given city for sightseeing, for visiting local places. And yeah, thanks to networking, you have friends in the city, so they will always show you the best pubs, the best restaurants, and the best places to visit. Do you remember this map? Yeah, all those places I visited thanks to conducting some lectures. So it's really, really cool way of finding a new place to visit next. Of course, there are more and more benefits. One of them, job opportunities. Let's be honest. When you are sharing your knowledge, when you are showing that you are an expert in some area, the probability that you will find your dream job is more likely. So recruiters are looking for people who are really passionate, and you can just gather job offer which is, for example, not officially opened. Or someone will tell you they are looking for someone in their team, and you will know it's something you want to do. The next thing, skill development. And this one maybe not so obvious, because mostly we are sharing our skills, we are talking about things we know. But when you research before your presentation, when you conduct your workshop, or when you answer questions from the audience, you have to deep dive into the topic. So it really, really helps me to organize my knowledge, make it like better, bigger, and just learn new things after each lecture. Very often also in Q&A session, people are coming to you and talking about their experiences. So I learned a lot, even when I thought that come on, I will be this person who will show something, yeah, and share with others. Visibility. I know that many people don't like this word, especially in big corporations, but let's be honest, it helps. So when you have visibility, when people, for example, in your company know that you are a speaker, you are expert in given area, it's easier to get a promotion, it's easier to find people for your team, it's easier to get some resources, or just know about great opportunities in your company or other companies. So even if we don't like this visibility, it helps. So why don't use that? And the next point, inspirations. As I said, after each talk, I have great discussions with people who are interested in this topic or just learned about this topic. Also, after each conference, I'm coming home with a whole really long list of things I want to learn, I want to check after this conference. So even today, I found 5 potential topics for other conferences and other speeches, and at least 3 things I want to check and include in my life. So, a lot of inspiration, a lot of good tips for the future. Friends, it's slightly connected with networking part, but thanks to traveling, thanks to meeting people with similar interests, with similar ideas, I found really true friends, and we are still in touch after a few years. Sometimes we are from totally different worlds, from totally different countries, but it's cool to find people who really get you, and you can do not only this work-related stuff, but also just go to the restaurant or chat a little with some people you met at the conference. And of course, there are many more benefits of them. One of them is synergy effect. Have you heard about that? Okay, so mostly it's not a mistake. I know that some minds, like mine, nerdy mind, in the first thought, it's like, oh, there's a mistake in the slides, but it's by purpose. People who created that slide are more about soft skills than mathematics. And it's true, because when you get 2 people who have some great knowledge, passion, and they work together, the output of them will not be just some of their experiences. There will be more. And that is synergy effect. So when we gather together, when we do something together, the output is bigger than just work of each of those persons separately. And yeah, don't forget about being magician. I really love that when I conduct workshops for kids, especially small ones from primary school. And I, for example, make robots to dance. And they look at me as a really magician and they ask me, wow, did you went to Hogwarts? And it's like, unfortunately not. My letter was lost somewhere in the post, but I will teach you how to be magician as well. And it's really cool. Okay, some data for those who prefer numbers than just talking about different things. There are researchers telling that employees who volunteer are 20% more productive and perform better in their roles. And to be honest, I was surprised when I saw those statistics for the first time, because, volunteers are doing a lot of stuff. They spend their time, they spend their energy on something else. So how they can be more productive, right? How it's possible that they have more power to do their job than other people and they're better in it? But it's 2024, so of course, I started chatting with ChatGPT. And one of the things I asked the ChatGPT was 10 soft skills needed for senior software engineer role. And of course, ChatGPT generated some list. But when you take a look at it, it's really easy to map those needed skills to things you can learn thanks to knowledge sharing and volunteering. First of them, communication. When you prepare your presentation, you have to focus on your audience. You have to remember about time limits. You have to find words to put your value, but also make it understandable for different audience. Also, public speaking. You try that somewhere else, so you know, speaking in front of your super important manager, it's not so terrifying because you did it so many times that it's just another presentation. Other thing, stress management. If you ever conducted workshop for teenagers who are not really interested in your topic in the beginning, you know what stress is. But yeah, you can handle that. And after that, each presentation, each task as job is not as stressful as this experience. Continuous learning, come on, it's obvious. So when you are going for conferences, learn a lot of stuff, yeah, you will learn and learn a lot of things like that. Problem solving, again, when you are at the workshop and someone in the audience has problem, you have to find an idea. You have to know how to debug that. You have to know how to make it better. So you tried, you learned a lot. And one more not obvious reason, you can play with super cute robots and no one is telling you you are childish. What's more, they're telling you, oh, you did a great job. I spent the whole day playing with robots. Come on, that's great, right? Okay, so very often the question I heard is, sounds good. Sounds really great, Dominika, but you know, how to start doing some knowledge sharing, how to start volunteering, especially when there are no people around you who are doing similar stuff. And the answer to this question is the same as the answer for this one. Do you know how to eat an elephant? A bite at a time, yeah, so small piece at the time. And it's exactly the same with workshops. You have to ask one very important question. Yeah, we all in Poland know this movie. We all know there's always only one very important question. But it's a little different than in the movie. In our case, the question is, what is the value to the audience? So, what they will benefit? What is the one or two things they should remember from your presentation? And how they can benefit from your knowledge and from your experience. When you know that, you can go to the next questions, like, who will benefit from my talk? Is it for students? Is it for more advanced people? Or maybe it's for experts in given area. Knowing that, you can wonder which form is the best. Is it lecture? Is it lightning talk, so super short lecture? Maybe it's workshop, article, podcast. And having all those answers, you can start looking around for places where you can share your knowledge. It may be work. You can prepare some presentation for your teammates. You can prepare something for example, all Android developers in your company, but also very often your company will want to go for some conference or university, and they are looking for people who want to share their knowledge. You can also look for students' associations, meetups, because they are always looking for good topics and they are always open for new speakers. Call for papers is a really, really cool way to come to conferences. So on many conferences, you have a special form. If organizers are not inviting you because you are not known yet, then you can just apply, send your proposal, write about your idea, what you want to share, what is your presentation, and then they will choose. If it's something interesting for them, they will invite you for the conference. And local communities, like local Java users group or people who are crazy about, I don't know, accessibility in Krakow, look for them, because those are people who will learn from your knowledge. And yeah, remember that you can be the superstar. But there's one thing that no one is talking about. There are many speeches like that where people are encouraging others to talk about volunteering, knowledge sharing, stuff like that. But there's a problem. A lot of volunteers and a lot of people who share their knowledge have problems with burnout. And I really wish that someone told me that a few years ago, because fortunately, I didn't burn out, but I was on a really good way to feel exhausted, to lost my passion, to just, stop doing stuff because I felt just overwhelmed about everything that is happening. Work, volunteering, additional stuff. Sometimes it's really, really difficult to not go crazy. So I have tips for you. I wish someone told me a few years back. And I hope you will see them. Yep. I gave them my own rules, own names. So, it's not any science. It's just Dominika invented some names for rules because why not? I'm on the stage, so I can do whatever I want. First one of them is airplane rule. Before starting, there's always this introduction. And one of the things they're saying is, firstly, you have to put mask on yourself and later on help other people, right? And it's very, very important. Why? Because you can't help others when you are dead. In plane, you are dead. But when you are volunteer, you can't help others when you are burned out, when you are tired, when you are exhausted. So remember about taking care of yourself, planning time for the relax. Sometimes it's really, really hard, especially when you are a little crazy person like me. So, for example, I had to put in my calendar slots for having fun. And each Tuesday, 6 p.m., I have 2 hours for having fun, not working, not preparing some presentation. In the beginning, it was difficult, but thanks to that, I made this rule that I have to spend time on myself without any regrets. And it's super important to just relax and have time to recover. The second rule is from rom-com. And there is this rom-com secret. It's super bad. It's typical rom-com, so we are not watching that for some golden rules for life. We are watching them just to cry a little and, believe in true love. But there's one great sentence from one of the rom-coms. If you don't know what you want, how can you ask for it? And I started wondering about that during watching this rom-com. And I realized that the same applies to your volunteering and knowledge sharing. Think why you're doing that. Remember about your goals. Are you doing that to give back to the community? Or maybe you want to get better network. Or maybe what is important for you is develop your public speaking skills. And when you receive some idea, some proposal to join conference or lecture, think, is it helping me to achieve my goal? Is it helping me to be in the place I want to be in a few years? If not, there is another rule, restaurant rule. So say no. There are many opportunities. There are countless people who need your help, but you can't help everyone. You can't support each even great initiative in your area. And you also can't do everything. I tried, really, I promise. So I have this rule that I'm trying almost everything. I want to try intro lessons, cool, I will try. I want to go for cooking lessons, cool. But after some time, I'm always asking myself, how will I score it? On the scale from 1 to 10. If the number is below 9, probably I should resign from that, just to have time for other activities, for other things. And the same with volunteering. If you are really passionate about speaking about accessibility, focus on that. If you don't like speaking about, testing, just leave it behind. Focus on the things that give you the most value and just say no to things that are not 9 for 10 or higher. And what is very, very important? Be your own best friend. We are the person he's the biggest criticism for everyone, yeah? We will always find mistakes and things that we could do better. And it's cool because we can improve based on them. But before saying something to myself, I'm asking, will I say that to my best friend? You know, if you have a best friend, you want to help them develop. You want to give them option to improve and so on. So you will give them feedback, but not this one, which will kill them. So you are focusing on important things, you are honest, but also you are not killing them. And just be your own best friend and be your own hero, remembering about all those cool things you can get from volunteering and knowledge sharing. They were on the slides before. I'm just recalling in case you forgot. For those who are data geeks and need some numbers, like my nerdy brain really needed numbers to prove my idea because, you know, without numbers, I have no proof that it's true. Okay, so let's take a look at data. First one, McKinsey report suggests that organizations with effective knowledge-sharing mechanisms are 3 times more likely to be innovation leader than their peers. Second one, according to studies, volunteering led to more than 8% increase in mental health and 7% increase in life satisfaction. There's even research telling that volunteering can reduce your blood pressure. So, you know, a lot of benefits for our body and mind as well. And one more data. Candidates with volunteering experience have 27% better chance of finding employment than not volunteer counterparts. So if there's one thing you should remember from my talk, please think about one thing you can share with others. And I'm pretty sure there is at least one. I can promise you that you will find it. And when you find this one thing, just empower yourself and enrich the world by sharing your knowledge. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you want to stay in touch, please use any of the links.
Thank you.